development. So the first thing that I would like to tell you is about how to, oh, I see Shivani e-commerce website, super cool. So when you access a website, the first element you see is HTML. So the HTML is responsible for the content and for the layout of a website. So everything that you see, it's HTML that does it, okay? And CSS responsible for the presentation, for the style of this website. And they both together, we can have the elements of a website, and then we can style those elements. And we have as well JavaScript. In CodeOp, we teach JavaScript, but it can be, for example, Python or Java. It can be another programming language. So we can have kind of an interaction with our website, and it's kind of more smart, so we can have more features to it. And I'm going to show you a cool website. So I will drop in the chat these for you to have all the websites, the link tree for this session. So I will go to this right here. So HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, this website. And I really like this website. For who is learning, this is the perfect website. So here's a visualization of HTML. So if you just use HTML on your page, you're going to have all the elements, but they are not going to look nice. For example, the eyes are there, the mouth are there, but they are just in one corner. And if you add CSS, it's more interactive and there's more animations, it looks nice. But then if you add, in this case, JavaScript, we can play with the screen, and as well can multiply this. It's kind of a game. So to create this kind of interaction, we need another programming language, in this case, JavaScript. Actually, nowadays, JavaScript is in the most famous websites that we have, like Google, YouTube, Facebook, they use JavaScript. And it's a very famous language nowadays. Okay, going back to the slide. And let me put my laser. All right. So today we are going to see HTML and CSS. And let's start with HTML. Okay, so this was the website. And let's talk a little bit about HTML. So what is HTML? HTML is basically a markup language to annotate text, images, and appends contents in the screen. For example, a video or a paragraph or image. All of these, we need HTML. And HTML is basically a collection of tags that we use to do it. And I'm going to show you how to create those tags. So first thing we need is a tag name surrounded with these arrows right here. So we need the opening tag with the tag name, and we need the closing tag. The difference between the opening tag and the closing tag is this right here. The closing tag has a slash to the right, okay? And in between the opening tag and the closing tag, we have the content. And this is a HTML element. So all the HTML elements, they follow this way of creating. They have an opening tag, closing tag, the content surrounded for this the opening tag and the closing tag, and we have an HTML element. Okay, and I'm going to show you a real example so you can see it. So for example, this right here, this opening tag P, This is a paragraph in HTML. And we have the opening tag and the closing tag paragraph, and in between the opening tag and the closing tag, we have the text for the paragraph. For example, if I want to create a paragraph in between the opening tag and the closing tag, I will write this paragraph. And the second thing I would like to show you, so you can look after this session, is the second link right here, okay? So in the link tree of CodeUp, if you click here, you are going to see the periodical table for HTML. I like this website because we have here all the tags that HTML has and the explanation for each one of them. So for example, if I want to see the explanation for the tag P, I just click here and then I have the explanation which, okay, P element represents a paragraph. And for example, for A, okay, so create a hyperlink to other web page. So everything that for example, if I encounter a tag that I don't know what it means, I just come here and then I can see what it means. It's very useful. All right. So this is the paragraph, and let's take a look at the HTML structure. So for example, if I want to create an HTML document, the first thing that I need to do is creating this structure right here. And this structure is basically the template that I will have for my HTML document. And these we divide in two parts. The first one is the head, okay? The head is responsible for display for informations about the page. So all the informations about the page will be in the head. For example, the page title and so on. And the body. So the body will be the content displayed on the screen. And in this workshop, we are going to just code in the body. Okay, so every content that you see in a website, they are in the body section. And it's there that we code. All right, so now that we see and that we know the HTML structure, let's talk about HTML attributes. And this is a very interesting feature of HTML. So with attributes, you can target and you can manipulate specific HTML elements. So let me show you an example. For example, the paragraph that I just told you, if I add here in the opening tag of the paragraph, class equals fruits, or class equals double quotes, any word that I want, this is an attribute. So with this, I can target and I can manipulate this specific paragraph. And as well, I can group them. For example, if I create another one with the same name, and if I call fruits later on in my code, I'm going to be calling apple and orange. So they are now part of an attribute called fruits. They are now part of this group of fruits. But what about if I want an unique one? So for this, we have IDs, okay? So we have the attribute ID, and the difference between the class and the IDs is, for the IDs, we need to have unique names. And for classes, we can repeat the name. For example, here, we have two fruits. For this, it's just a unique name, okay? All right, so what about if I have 3 sessions in my web page? I have the intro session, I have the about me, and I have another one which is project. For organizing this code and group them, I won't be adding class in all of the elements. Imagine there is like 100 of elements. So for these, I have something called containers. So with containers is basically like this. I add div at the beginning of this group and div at the end. So from now on, all these three elements, they are inside this container. And to target it, I can call it shopping basket with an attribute. So in my code, if I call shopping basket, I will be calling those three elements. They will be part of a group. Okay. If you have any questions, just let me know. All right. Let's code. Let's code a bit. Let's practice some HTML. And I will open here my code pen. So if you can, open your browser as well. And side by side, you can put the Zoom call on the left side of your screen and the code pen in the right side. And let's try to code together. So the name of the website is codepen.io. And you have here on the workshop code, which is in the code pen as well. So if you want to see the result of the web page, I will go to the private windows because I have an account as well already, and I want to enter as anonymous. Just a second because I can't see you. Okay. Okay, let's start coding. So here in this button, you can click on here and open a new pen. This is a simulator. So for this, you don't need, for example, the basic structure of HTML, okay? Because behind it, they have it already. This is just for us to play with HTML. Here we can play with CSS and JavaScript as well. But for this session, I would just drag JavaScript because we're not going to use it. And for now, CSS as well. Okay. We have the sign up button here. And this is useful because if you want to, for example, to save this code and to keep it and edit it after this session, you can do this if you are logged in, and it's for free, okay? And in the settings, for example, here you have, you can add some things in behavior. For example, save automatically. I will turn it off. And I think that's it. Auto update in preview. Save. Turn it a little bit. Okay. All right, so let's start. And I will start with one tag, okay? And this tag will be age1. I will open the tag and I will close the tag. So every time, open the tag and close the tag. Make sure this is big enough. I think it is. So in between the opening tag and the closing tag, I will write my first piece of code. So this is my title. Age1 tag is for titles, and we use them when we want a big title. So we have H1, H2 until H6. So H2 is a little bit smaller, H3 is smaller than H2, and so on until H6. For example, H2 and for example, H4. So it's smaller. Okay. I will keep with H1. And here I will write about me. The second thing, it's a paragraph. So I open the tag paragraph and close the tag paragraph. And here we'll write something about me. As I am now, let's generator text. Okay. I will go to this website because it has some text, and I will just copy this piece of text and paste there. So you can write something about yourself. I will just keep this right like this. So I went to this website and I copied some text and I paste it here. Okay. So you can write something about you. All right. So we have the title and we have a paragraph. As you can see, this goes from the beginning of the page until the end of the page. If I want to be the same as it is in my editor, okay, I can add one thing, and it's called BR. So it's a tag called BR. And BR allows me to break the line. It's the same thing as pressing enter, but this is with HTML. So if you want to break the line here and here, you can add the BR tag. And the BR is an exception because it doesn't need the closing tag, but the rest of them they need, okay? Just a few of them, they are exceptions. Okay, I will add BR here as well. And that's it. I will keep just those two. All right, so the last thing I will add is an image. So for images, we have a tag for this, which is img. And inside the opening tag, I write src equal sign, double quotes. So in between the double quotes, I will paste the source for my image. Okay, and how do I get the source for this image? So I'll go to a new tab and I will go to Google, for example, and search for an image. In my case, I will search for avatar, women avatar. Women avatar. So go to your Google Images, click here, Images, and you can choose any image you want. Okay. In my case, I have one already that I would like to, which is this one. When you open the image, you right-click inside the image and you copy image address or copy image. Sometimes copy image doesn't work, so this is more secure. Copy image address. For example, if I go to the new tab and paste, I will have this image here. So this is the source of that image. Okay. And with the source that I just copied it, I will go to the source, to the src, and between the double quotes, I will paste the source of this image. Well, let's go there again. Copy image. It always happened to me. Let's copy it and paste. Okay. So again, go here, copy image address or copy image, come back and paste in the source. Okay. So as I told you, BR doesn't need a closing tag. The another one that doesn't need it is image. So the tag img, it doesn't need a closing tag. But there are exceptions. Okay, so now that I have my title, I have a paragraph and I have an image, I will just add the last thing, which is going to be a container to group them together. So the tag for the container is div. So I open the tag, and at the final of my code in line 8, I will close the tag. So from now on, everything from line 2 to line 7 is inside this container. And I will call it, so I will create an attribute for this, which is going to be called, so class equals sign, double quotes. It can be about me. Okay, a comment about this. So when you write class equals and then about me, so for this name in attributes, avoid uppercases and as well spaces. Okay, in my case, I just wrote about and then dash me. All right, so I won't save because I'm not logged in. And let's take a look at CSS to give it some style. Go again to another part, so the slides. Go to these slides. And let's take a look at CSS. All right, yes. So do you have any questions about HTML? Is everything cleared? Code is fun. All right. Let's take a look at CSS, because with CSS, we have, we have the power of styling our HTML, so it will look pretty much better. And CSS is cascading style sheet language, and it's just used in combination with the HTML. So then they both together, we can put things in our screen and then we can style those things. And I'm going to show you how to use CSS with HTML. Do you remember the attributes of HTML? So using these attributes, we can call it in our CSS with dot and the name of the attribute, okay? In this case, it's fruit, it could be any name. And then in between, so this is element selector, the name. In between curly brackets, we have the CSS property. So again, we call the HTML attribute. In this case, the name is fruit, okay? So it will be dot fruit. This is an element selector. In between curly brackets, we have a CSS property, which is basically a key, which is color, and then column, and then the value for this key. and every time we finish the line with semicolon. So it's always like that. And I'm going to show you more examples and you're going to see this. In this case, the color for the paragraph fruit is going to be green. Okay. And don't forget about the semicolon at the end. Let me show you more examples. So we have this one, which is fruit. And we have favorite, which is background, and then column. And we have the value, which is blue, and semicolon at the end. And the last one is font size, and then column here. We choose a value for the font size, a size, and as well color, and then column blue. We have some different things here. In the first one, you have the dot at the first thing is a dot. The second one is a hashtag, and the third one, it doesn't have anything. Exactly, Luca. This is what I'm going to explain you right now. Well spotted. So in the first one, we are talking about classes. So for classes is dot. For IDs is hashtags. And for the ones that is tags from HTML already from the system, we don't need anything, okay? So dots for classes, hashtags for IDs, and for the ones that is from HTML already, nothing. Okay? Let's put this in practice. Let's go there again to CodePen. Okay, this is this is the one ready. And I will drag my CSS to the left because now I will use it. Okay. So the first thing I want to do here is, can you see all these elements? So 3 of them, I want them in the center of my page. So this is the first thing that I will do. Put them in the center. Then I will, this image here, I need it a little smaller. It's too big. So centralize and the image a little bit smaller. After this, I will add a background color. Okay, so let's do this. And okay, all of those things that I said, it's related to these 3 elements right here. And I think it's too small. Let me put more big. Okay, cool. And I have a class here about me. Okay, so I will call this class for this container dot, because it's a class, and about me. Open and close curly brackets. Then I will centralize everything. And all I need to do is text, oh, not here, inside, text align, column, center, and semicolon. Okay, from now on, everything is centralized. The second thing I would like to do is I would like to add a background. So to add a background, what I need is, let me just close one thing here. It's making me confused. Okay, these, let me close. Okay, perfect. All right, so background color, and it's background dash color column. And for this one, maybe there is a color that I like, which is called Alice Blue. Oh my God, again, not here, sorry. Here, Alice Blue. Okay. I have it looking good already, but the image is too big. So in this case, I will call the image here, the tag image. So img, which is the tag from CSS. So I don't need dot or hashtag because it's a tag from this HTML already. And press enter, and inside the curly brackets, I will say that the width is 15% of the original size, and much more better. Okay. Also, let me think about more things that I can add. All right, so every time that you're going to create an HTML file, the first thing that you have to do, okay, so I will just press enter here and go to the first line, add an asterisk, open equals curly brackets, and here I will write margin, column 0, and I will tell you why. So by default, any HTML file, they will come with a margin. So with the pixels of margin. And we have always to do this step, okay? So you just have to remind to do this always. Okay, so the next thing I will add inside my container about me is, can you see that it's very close to the top here and it's very close to the bottom? So I want to add some space around my items. As I'm talking about the 3 items and they are grouped, I will at the same time add a space around them. And all I need to do is add in a padding. So it's padding, column, and I will add 10 pixels, which is 10 px. And let's see how it adds. So it added a little bit more space here and here, but I would like more. So I'll say 50 pixels. It looks nice to me. Okay. So let's see the original page and how it looks like. Sorry, my internet connection is not good. I will take a look at the original page and I will show you how it looks like. So this is the about me. Okay. And now let's do this part here, the first part. So just the image. Okay. And let's do this part. So in my HTML, what I have to do is press enter here, and to the first line, I will start to write my header. So why do I start here in the first line? Because HTML reads from the top to the bottom, okay? So if I put an element here, it will display first in my web page. CSS, you can put it whatever you want and in any place. It reads all at the same time. With HTML, it reads the first line first. So if I add here another container, for example, I will add div, then I will close. So I just added another container, and then will be an h1 for I am Taina. So h1 which is a title for my page, open and close tags, and I am China. And the second thing will be H3, because I want it like a subtitle. Open and close H3 tag. Welcome to my page. Welcome to my page. All right. So I have it here, and I will do the same process. I will centralize this, and as well, I want a cool background. The way I add a background is basically like this. I go to my div container in the opening tag, and I will add as well. For this time, I will add the ID just to show you how it works, okay? So this will be my header. ID equals double quotes header. And I will call this here, so I can call it anywhere, my CSS selector. And I'll call it with a hashtag. And it will be the name, which is header. All right. So now I will open this, and I'll write background image column and URL, open and close parentheses, in the final of the line, in the end of the line, semicolon. So I will add, to remember the source for this image in About Me, I will add a source for an image here. And I have an image already here, and I will paste on the chat if you want to use this one. If you need, if you want another one, you can go to Google, and the same process, go to images, choose one that you like, a wallpaper, and just paste it in the URL. So this is the one that I will use, and I will go in between parentheses, and I will just paste it there. All right, so I have a background already. And why just this thing? This is because it doesn't have a height, okay? So I have to add it in my CSS. And the way I do this is here in the header, is in my container. So add a height, and it's going to be equals 700 pixels. It can be pixels. All right, so now it has a height. Looks better. But as you can see, it's repeating here the image. And let me see if everything is fine. Okay, it's repeating here. So I want to not repeat, and the thing I need to do is background dash repeat and column, and no dash repeat. Just this. And as you can see, it's not repeating. Okay. All right, but I can see like a gap between my About Me and the image. This is because I didn't add another CSS property, which is background dash size column, and then I need to write cover. And this will turn your image into the cover for this page, okay? Yes, and if you can get the slides. We're going to send the slides, and as well the video for this session at the end of the session. All right. It looks cool, but this, I would like this centralized as well. And as you can see, the another one, let me show you the another one. So this, let me show you bigger, has a background, like a target. And I will add this, and I will make the color of my heading, it will be white. And I will add another container to group those two. So the H1 and H2. And let's go back to my code. Okay. Going back here to the first container, I have H1 and H3. So I'll group them in one container. So then I will just manipulate them, their two together at the same time. So div, open tag and close tag. Here it has to be like that. Open div tag, close div tag. In between these two, I will copy my H3 and my H1. You can do like this, or you copy and paste there, or you just cut. I will just cut because it disappears from here and will appear here when I paste. All right, for this, I will write class is equals intro. Okay. So a good difference here between IDs and class, and maybe you are thinking, okay, when I use IDs and when I use class. So class, I added this name for this class intro, because if I style intro here, and if I in my website I have more than one intro, I can just replicate this group, and then I don't need to code them twice. With IDs, I just use them when I don't want to replicate. Okay, so I'll go here to class, and this is intro. So as is a class dot, so intro, open and close curly brackets. And as well, I need everything in the center. So text align, center, much more better. And then after this, I will, so the text, I need it a little bit larger. So font size, column, and 25 pixels, for example. Let's see how it's going to be. Okay, it's larger, but maybe 35. Okay, it looks good to me. If I want to change the color, all I need to do is write in color and white. So from now on, everything that is inside intro, so any text that is inside this container will be white. Another thing that I would like to add is a background color for this container in specific. Okay, so we have this container that is inside this container. So for this one, I will add a background color, and let's see how it's going to look like. So background color, column, and I have already a color for this background. It's a transparent color, and I'm going to paste on the chat the color that I have. So all you need to do is copy from the chat and paste it here. Okay, so paste it here, and semicolon at the end. Here is allowed RGB colors and as well hexadecimal colors. So if you want to change it, so if you want to change this color, you can go to a website with hexadecimal colors, copy the code and paste it right here. It will work the same. Okay. So if you want another color, you go to a website, hexadecimal for this color, and copy this code and paste it there. All right, so I have my intro here, and as well, this background color is just for this container. I am Taina, and welcome to my page. Okay, how do we find the colors that have been used in different websites? What do you mean in different websites? So if you want a color from a different website, so you go to a website and then you want a color? Okay. So we have, do you know color picker? Okay, we have, this is more design, but basically you have you seen those color pickers?
I just dropped it into the chat.
Exactly.
So
It's a tool.
yeah, basically it's like a tool that you can go on the website and pick the color, and then it will give you the hex code, and then you copy the hex code, and then you can put it into your code, and it should give you the
Perfect.
same color.
Thank you,
Hopefully
Ruth.
that helps.
Thank you. All right. So I have a background already for this container. Okay. And I want it with more space again in the top of my page, in the bottom of the welcome to my page. And I will do the same. I will do padding, but this time maybe, let me see, 20 pixels if it is. Maybe 35 pixels. Okay, I like it more like that. All right. Also, I would like it centralized because it's in the top of my page. So I would like it in the center of my page. All I need to do is I go to the first container, which is header. Let me search it in my CSS. So it's here, header. And then I will add padding top. So padding, but just in the top, space, but just in the top. And I will add the almost the half, but not the half, maybe 200 pixels, 250 pixels. So I'll explain you what I did. So as you can see, it is in the center of my page. What I did was basically, in this line, I added a space between the content of the header, so the content that was inside this container, in the top of my page, I added this amount of pixels. And I added this amount of pixels because the height was 700. So I calculated more or less the half of it, and I just added. So every content that I add later on in this container, anything, any tag, sorry, that I add here will be with this padding. All right. Okay, now I have the header and I have the about me. And as you can see, this paragraph and this about me and this image as well, they don't have space in between them. So you can add as well the padding top, but of course less pixels. And I will give these works to you. I will leave this work to you. And maybe at the end of this class, I will teach you how to do it. But think about it. Think how do you add space between them? Okay, hint is with padding top. Okay, so the first thing that I will add is the navbar. So the navbar is basically the menu, the top menu. And we need the tag nav. So opening tag nav and closing tag nav. And these will be our menu for this web page. Okay. So we're going to have the items about me, activities, project, and CV. So 4 items. And all we need to do is tag A, which represents links. And yes, we create menus with links. Open tag A, close tag A, and inside my tag A, I need to add age, ref, equal sign, double quotes, and for now, I will leave it empty, okay? But just for now. Here, I will write about me. And let's see how it looks. So I have here the link already about me. And if I hover my pointer, you can see there is a link. I will do the same for the rest of them, the 3 of them. So A again, open and close tags. Go to the opening tag A, don't forget, it has to be inside the opening tag, okay? The age ref. Equal sign, double quotes, and then activities. The third one will be age ref again. And here will be projects. The last one is CV. So A, open tag, close tag, same process right here. CV. Inside the opening tag, href. All right. It should look like this. Any questions? Is everybody following? If there are some questions, you can drop in the chat. All right. Good question, Karin. So href for now is empty, but it should redirect to you for another page or for another section of your web page. Because when I click here, for example, I will click on my CV and I want to be redirected to my CV, right? So if I want it, I have this option and I will specify here in my href. So I will do this, okay? First I will style this and then I will teach you how to redirect this link to the page that you want or for the section of this page that you want. Okay? Another example. So another example with href. I have here about me, okay? I need to be redirected to this section of my page when I click in about me. So for instance, if I click here, I would like to be automatically redirected to here. And it's possible to do. But first, let's style this a little bit because it looks not very nice. So the same process. adding a class here, class equals navbar, and then calling the class in my CSS code. Dot navbar, open and close curly brackets. Then let's analyze what I want to change. So the first thing, I would like to have a background, a color for the background. The second thing, maybe adding a height. So with padding, something like that. Then this list, I would like space in between them, and I would like them centralized. So this is what I'm going to do now. The first thing, I will add a background color. So background color, it will be black. Simple as this. Okay, it's black already. Now, height is 40 pixels. Okay. And another thing that I would like to, I think for now let's keep it like that, because I want to edit this list right here. And this list, they are all A's. So I'll just call here in my code A tag, just for you to see the difference. So A will have the color white. Let me show you. Okay. So all the tags A in my web page will have the color white. And it's a tag from HTML. Also, I would like to just take it out the underline. I don't like the underline, so it will be as simple as this. Text decoration. None. And font size may be larger. So font size, column, and 20 pixels. Maybe 18. Yeah, 18 is better. Okay. It's too close to the top of my page, so do you remember? So padding top, and then 5 pixels. It's not that much, so maybe more. Padding top, 8 pixels. Mm. 10. Oh, let me save automatically. Don't run automatically. I'm just changing this to have the run button. Okay, now it's running. I want to see this running. All right. So padding top 10 pixels, font size 18 pixels, text decoration none, so no underline, and color will be white. All right. Let me just add, for example, 20 pixels here. It's not running for some reason. Okay, now it's running. My internet is not very good. Okay, it's running. Perfect, perfect. All right. Okay, I need it in the center of my page. So again, justify content and then center. But I will do this with this class right here, navbar, because then I will just group them all and put them all in the center of my page. It will be content, justify content. And then center. And run the code. They're all centralized. So, what is happening? I think I'm having some troubles with CodePen. Okay, so let's take some changes and see. Okay, and add them again. Run the code. All right, and 18. I'll just run 18 again. Justify content. Oh, of course. I'm sorry. It's text. Oh, it's text align. Text align. Center, of course. Too distracted. Text align, center. Then that's it. It will be centered. All right. So let me add padding around them. This should be working. Let's see. All right. Good, good, good. So padding around, and in my nav bar, I want to add, I have height. Okay. So I will add a padding here as well. So this content right here, this list of elements will be less in the top of my page, will be less close to the top of my page. I will add padding top because I'm talking about this group right here. So pad top and 10 pixels. And then run. Okay, good. All right. So now they are all in the same place and I want them with this space in between them, but much more space. And I have one thing called Flexbox, which if you're going to learn about CSS, we're going to hear it a lot, this word Flexbox, because they are very helpful. So the way I use them is inside my navbar again. After my padding top, I will press enter. And then I will add my flexbox. And the way I use it is basically like that. So I write display and then flex, which we're going to create the layout. So every time that I want to use some content from flexbox, I need this line, display and flex, just to create. And then justify, now it's justify content. Justify content. Then I can add space evenly. So it will have a space between them. And I run my code, and there we go, we have space between them. Here, I will change the padding top for 5 pixels. So it won't have this space right here. It will have less. Okay. And as well here, I will just take it out. I was just testing the padding. Okay. Maybe I should add more. Okay. Maybe just 5 pixels here. And that's it. All right. Perfectionism, but it looks good. Okay. So I have my navbar, I have my title, my subtitle, my background for the container of the intro. I have my about me, my paragraph, and my image, but they are too close to each other. So I add about me and I will add a padding here. And the thing that I need to do is I go to, let me see, where did I write them in my HTML code? Okay, here, about me. What I can do is, in my h1, or in my paragraph, I will add in my paragraph first, then you can see. In my paragraph, I will add class equal sign, and then intro, just b, intro dash b. Copy this, go to my CSS, dot, and then paste it, intro dash b. And then what I can do is padding. So as I want space here and I want space over here, I will add just padding, because then automatically we will add space around 50 pixels. And then I run the code and I have much more space. Okay, maybe too much space. I think 10, 15 is fair enough. Okay, it looks much more better now. Another thing that I would like to add is there is a tricky to, when you hover the mouse, you can simulate an interaction with the page. It's like an animation, and I will show you how to do this. So here I have the nav bar, here I have A, and over after the A CSS property, what I will add is A, again, column, hover, open and close curly brackets. Then I will say, when I hover in the A tag, text decoration will be underlined. No, I will change the color first. So color will be gray. And I run the code. So when I hover the mouse, the color change. Okay. To simulate interaction, I can say this. So font size, as you can see here is 18, the normal one. I will say 20 pixels. Oh. And then when I run, I think 20 pixels may be too much. Okay, so you have interaction. I will say 90 pixels, and that's it. All right. The last thing I would like to show you is here in the top profile page, the href. How do we connect the href with the rest of your page? At this moment, I just have one section of my page, which is about me. But it will be once you know how to do this process, will be the same if you want to add more sections on your page. All right, so let's see where is the about me, and it's here. The first thing that I need to do, I will need to change it to ID. Okay, so come here in the about me and write ID to be unique. In my CSS, I will change the ID here, nav about me. I didn't call it here, I think. Okay, perfect. Let me see if I call about me here. Nav bar, intro, header. Oh, about me. Hashtag. So change it here to ID and here to hashtag. When this is done, go again to href, about me, in between the double quotes, hashtag again, about dash me. Remember to always adding the hashtag because it's an ID, and here about me the same way that you wrote here, okay? And run your page and let's see. So when I click about me, I'll be redirected to this, okay? So for instance, if you want, let's take an example. Okay, I have my CV in another web page. You can just redirect through href to another page here just by pasting the URL of this page. So I will redirect you to Google, for example. I will write here just google.com. Okay, I'm in the Google page, normal. Copy the URL, not here. Copy this, go to my code pen, line 5 href between double quotes. I will paste it here. It's just a URL to Google. So when I run my page and I click on CV, it will redirect me to Google. Of course, with this web page, I can't do this because this is a simulator. But this is the way, okay? So if you're going to create a web page, href, and then the URL that you want. It can be anything, as long as it's online, of course, okay? All right, so here, if I click, I'm in About Me. And the last thing I would suggest you to do is to log in. If you have an account already, if you don't have, sign up, then save your code, log in. So you're going to have this code in your account, and then you can play with this later on when you want. And let's take a look what we've seen today. Let me share my screen again, but here. All right. So basically we've seen HTML and CSS fundamental basics, creating HTML elements, basic on HTML attributes and selectors, embedding images using basic CSS property to style our HTML. And that's it. Good job. I will send this code to you, and as well, oh, you have this already. Sorry, you have workshop code here. So you can play this with this. And if you have any questions, you can ask me or Ruth.
Thank you very much, Ty. So yeah, as Ty just mentioned there, we have recorded this session. So if you missed a little bit or you want to go back and just check through it, we will send the recording via Eventbrite or Meetup, so whichever one you signed up for, in the email, probably tomorrow by the time we've uploaded it. I hope you enjoyed it and you managed to keep up. I know sometimes, I mean, we didn't ask you what level maybe you were at, but if it was your first time seeing code and following along, I hope you managed to keep up. And if it wasn't your first time, I hope it was still interesting and you managed to produce something at the end. We would love to see your portfolios as well. I know people, we won't ask you to share them here in public, but if you did want us to take a look or for Ty to take a look, we always love for you to share them with us. So I'm just gonna
Yes, please
drop,
send.
yeah, I'm just gonna drop my email address here in the chat, and Ty, if you could just drop yours as well, your CodeOp one. Um, this is more just if you have any questions about today's event, about other workshops that we do. This was a very, very kind of introductory level one. We do kind of more advanced workshops as well in different topics. And then also lots of different events. And so for that, I would just recommend that you follow our Eventbrite channel or our social media. And obviously, if you're interested in any of the courses or you wanted to get more of Ty, you've had a little taster of her today, but Ty also teaches on our courses as both an instructor, but also as a technical teacher's assistant. Then feel free to send me a message and I can give you more information about the courses as well. I'll just leave a second. If anyone does have any quick questions, feel free to unmute or write them in the chat.
And you can send as well your portfolio to my email. I would like to see them if you have.
Don't be shy to it. I guess if there's no questions, then thank you very, very much for
Thank you
joining
for your
us.
time.
We hope you enjoyed the session, and we hope to see you soon at another event in the future. Thanks very much.
Bye, you all.
Bye, everybody.